when you play a video game, there are always things that you don't think about that you do all the time. The simple aspect of, alright, listen, I just really wanted to play Bioshock, and beating it with only moving backwards kinda seemed like the only thing that hasn't been done yet, so you're gonna do me a solid and watch this, and I'm gonna do you a solid and answer the question, can you beat Bioshock with only moving backwards? To do this, I was simply gonna unbind W, A, and D, but the game needed them bound to something, so I picked some random numbers on the top of my keyboard, find this game working properly as my brightness slider worked as intended, made the mistake of playing on hard, get the joy of being on a plane pre-George W. Bush before the crying baby caused the plane to crash anyway, overreact to prove that the W key doesn't do anything, so I do some backwards breaststrokes and need to turn around just to see where I need to go, as my navigation skills are that of a blind swimming toddler. Before I make it to dry land, get to see that I'm not allowed here, remember what letter comes before F, E, find out a cool feature of my headset. Why does adjusting my volume do that? Why is that considered pause? What the hell? See why you don't let your friend make the presentation. See one of the best things I saw at the age of 8, before seeing the scariest thing that I saw at the age of 8. Quickly grab the iPhone -2.
Would you kindly pick up that shortwave radio?
Well, since you ask so nicely. Before getting told the situation by Mr. Atlas. Basically, everyone likes this guy named Adam, and you desperately need to make sure Adam is inside of you. Some people even throwing perfectly good furniture at you to ensure they can get it. I slowly start to figure out the pain playing on hard is going to cause, but at least find a small light in this dark challenge. Basically, Bioshock is a good game. Whenever I jump, just like Wings of Redemption, my momentum is too strong to stop me. So even if I was to whip my mouse around and say, look at my enemy, for the small moment of a jump, my momentum will carry me to my enemy. I don't use this a whole lot, but it was still very helpful when I pulled out this little tool. We then see the downside of consuming G Fuel, even getting shamed by everyone around, but I easily recover by drinking Gamer Supps and using code LB for 10% off. But show that I'll need further recovery for what this run is going to do to me. Oh my gosh, I mashed the W key for like ever, like oh my gosh, why can't they go forward? Damn. This weird section acts like a cutscene, forcing me to look at the horror that crying children can cause. Make a discovery. Oh my gosh, it's a real cat. Oh my god. Start to get used to this combat style of not being able to move properly while getting attacked. Make use of this 1-2 combo taught to me by Atlas, and with my early challenge woes in tow. Every time I start going, I was like, man, I want to go, I want to walk forward. I can't do that. Okay. This is the favorite part of these runs right here, where my muscle memory is like trying to kill itself. I'm out here trying to play the game normally, but it's like, no, you can't do that. You're doing this thing called a challenge. You must do it in the weird way. Come on. Find a woman. Hi. Steal her child. And after getting a bit more used to my limited movement, find insert YouTuber here, as well as Chris Hansen coming out of retirement.
Just a hug? No hug for me? I'm sorry? No hug for me?
Find the way to gain respect in this place, so much so that these splicers now need to take me a bit more seriously. Atlas, however, does not.
What are you waiting for? Go!
You gotta search the bodies, dude. Have you never played a survival game before? So I hop, skip, jump, and hop into a wall before my movie is interrupted, and I'm forced to go into the medical pavilion, where I find a way better way to entertain myself. I just bottle flipped a chair. This game's awesome. Remember the hacking system before I remember the hacking system. Take out my anger on someone who didn't deserve it, and accidentally push the wrong big red button, but at least get a Tommy gun. A weapon that, by video game law, must be good. And after proving this to be true, as well as proving that standing still is a good way to lose most of my health, find the downside of not being able to look into the rooms I'm entering. Ow, 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 ow. Die for the cause. Go die for the cause, my friend. But I make every robot in the room mine by being a movie-level hacker. Get some video game memories. Is that the fucking COD zombie sound for buying stuff? What the hell? And Atlas teaches me how to walk around and steal things that kindly need to be mine. Such as funny give people permanent tattoos cantrip, which also clears the path from ice, but doesn't help me in a scary or shenanigan-filled situations. So after the antics are over... Oh! I get surprise tool that will help me later. See the single father whose life I will soon be ruining, before getting the ability to blow up pancakes with my mind. Before making my way to a problem I forgot to mention, being the need to blow up this path. See everyone's reaction when a YouTuber does a face reveal.
He's ugly.
And with a quick zap and a shotgun shell, followed by a shotgun shell, followed by remembering I'm not playing on easy, I instead use that surprise tool, and taking out the judgmental therapist for stealing my joke. At least give him a tip. See a cutscene the way the devs intended, before the game finally lets me get my proper introduction to Adam. Only after I aura farm, of course, and am finally given the choice between giving in to the inner Minecraft YouTuber, or saving the Girl Scout. And while I could do the funny haha I killed a small child, as a capitalist enjoyer, I am more than aware that even though you get more than double the Adam for killing the child, for every 3 you save, Tenenbaum not only gives you a nice and neat 200 Adam, they also give you free equipment, plasmids, and sometimes even ammo. So even though it would be funnier, I save each child not for any sort of good guy reason, but for capitalism, before for some unknown reason Atlas thinks I can kill this huge father. So I trust his judgment, but I'm only able to do this mostly thanks to my robotic unpaid workers. Oh, as once I'm on my own, it's a much sadder sight. Oh, listen, man, we can be friends. It was an accident. All of these shots after the fact are also accidents, just so you're aware. I've been used up most of my resources, taking on a mountain of damage because, you guessed it, I walk like it's opposite day. So I let a Victorian child watch my YouTube videos, and with the mean doctor from earlier's keys, I can turn off the alarm, which means I can now back up into the next area, the wharf. A pretty simple section. The main objective here is to meet Prince Peach, get the first ever gun to have RGB, before having to walk backwards and easily getting lost. And after getting lost too... Hi there! How you doing? Oh, that's not good. Find this cool camera so I can take pictures of slicers that know how to climb, which also allows me to take a picture of my most embarrassing death. I got killed by a kick, dude. Come on. So I get the video game number of pictures I need. Enjoy the most enjoyable combats in this game that you can enjoy. What? I wrote that and I thought that was amazing. It's crazy. Accidentally separate a family. Gather the Atom, and with the third sister saved, I get my very deserved reward. Oh hey. Thank you. Getting some much needed Atom, and take on another Big Daddy, which is totally a very fun and enjoyable experience to experience. Before I finally take it down, take care of my only witness to my embarrassment, before I bring the picture back to Peach, but need to meet him face to face. I need to give him my weapons, and who guessed it, he turns on me. Which leads to the start of me dying. A lot. As well as a very unfun section. And to make it more of a fun section, try and back myself up with some robo friends. Which basically allows me to run around and avoid harm, just so I can get the broken achievement on the Epic Games Store. I then find a Pack-a-Punch, and turn my shotgun into the butt blaster. Before taking a moment to remember something I did in 4th grade, find out Atlas has the most quiet family, before doing a magic trick to cause his family to be part of an unfun party. I am then told I should help Atlas's family, splicers being easy as always, and since this segment isn't timed, Atlas becomes a man on a mission to kill Rapture's inventor, Andrew Ryan. So it's up to me, for some reason, to avenge his family, have some bad at this game woes. Can you don't twice? And after a few deaths, I suddenly become very okay with cheesing this Rosie to death, as they are sitting in front of my spawn, and dying in this game has little to no consequence. So after reliving my childhood trauma when someone went to tickle me, we find out Andrew Ryan read the newest Harley Quinn comic. I now need to save the plants if I have any hope of getting to Ryan. So step 1 is to find the lady who knows how to fix it, get the actually easy task of getting some roses, and before making my way back, whoa man, whoa, whoa man, whoa, put the gun away man, come on, whoa. Give the pretty lady some flowers, before suffering the second worst fate than death, being doing the hacking minigame as How Much Is That Dog in the Window plays in the background, before seeing the first worst fate than death, as it actually leads to death. But I do get a safe code, as well as a weapon you won't see until the final boss fight, as well as the formula that I'll need to fix this mess, which is 3 separate fetch quests, needing a lot of chlorophyll, distilled water, and many enzyme samples. Something almost undeathless, which leads to the Dark Souls level of run back to the metaphorical boss room. Get the ingredients I need before rushing back to the lab, getting called mean names.
Something nasty.
And fuck you, what did I do? Before making the mixture, try and protect it while it makes its way into the pipes. All in all, not too bad of a mission. Outside of one friendly being, slowly becoming a no longer friendly being. Wait, buddy, no, don't do it. No, I told you not to do it. Before the day is saved by me, and my reward is getting to do work for Sander Cohen's. As he shows off his place, introduces me to fine musicals, and makes someone play the finest music just for me. And he hires me to take pictures of his failures. Find out we have a lot in common.
Go to the atrium. Hurry now. My muse is a fickle bitch with a very short attention span.
He's literally me. Needing to take video game amount +1 of pictures, starting with a mouth breather with spearmint. Thankfully the gum is striped so the flavor lasts all of about 2 seconds. And with this man being the first, he also quickly becomes the easiest. So snap that. Get to find out in real time that the 2 friends you thought had beef can actually be chill, and that I'm the actual problem. The next key item person is just as easy. Sander's getting a bit mad that I'm doing this so quickly, sending some very lackluster splicers, and once they're finished, I at least get a well worth it apology.
Outburst. You'll have to forgive an old fool with his artistic temperament.
Play another round of I really don't want to cheese this, but the game is literally begging for it, and after injecting brain rot, go through the worst of the kills, as this specific failure just runs away from me, and it's hard to do much as is to hit him, as I'd need to turn around, where he is only running further and further away from me, and the only reason I can even finish him off is him running into my security cameras, and just getting shot by my robots. So with all the pictures placed, I accidentally bring harm to what should have been my best friend, and kill him with much ease. And his death gives me the ability to do an even worse set of fetch quests. I just need to make it to Andrew Ryan's door, a task all on its own, from splicers finally getting an upgrade, or at least it felt like they got an upgrade. Even if I'm wrong, no one can tell me otherwise. Before Ryan tells me that I can't kill him, as he has a really cool door. Accidentally freeze this grate and temporarily soft lock myself, until I find a soon-to-be EMP bomb, which gets me excited, but all excitement leaves my body faster than when Nintendo showed the Switch 2 prices, when I found out I need to get more than 10 items to build it, most of which are just lying around. The only fun part being this little fella doing a T-pose when he gets sent to the not being alive place. And with everything else either cheesed or found on the floor, I insert it into the bomb, have almost no issue as I break the elevator to slam down the bomb, which breaks the door and allows me to meet Andrew Ryan, who tells me I did everything I did here today because my brain does whenever I'm told, as long as I'm told, would you kindly? Would you kindly comment your favorite fruit? Don't say me. Don't say your favorite fruit is Lars. I'm stupid. Run from Ryan as he tells me he's a Namor main. The cutscene gets ruined because why doesn't it? Before the problem is kinda taken care of. And me saving Rapture accidentally makes Atlas show his goth OC, Frank Fontaine. So I just let myself fall to my death, but unfortunately get brought right back. Where I'm apparently free of the would you kindly curse, but he still tugs at my heartstrings. Deal with what I can kindly call that part of Bioshock, needing to drink 2 servings of Lot 192, which breaks my plasmids, so I just start to rush to the next section, to mixed results, before getting Cure 2 Electric Boogaloo. And now that that part is completed, it's time for that part 2. For mostly no explained reason, I need to temporarily become a Big Daddy, and specifically walking backwards in this place is kinda like a maze. Backwards, everything looks the same. But thankfully, the enemy are nowhere near a problem. All I need to do is rip out my voice box, gain a helmet and a headache, and a suit that gives me 25 damage resistance, but doesn't cover my hands or sweater. And while I would flip, I also get some fresh kicks, and a big dosage of what they call daddy scent, that being the scent of cigars, adult sodas, and sweat, which allows me to take on little sister that not only has daddy issues, but also isn't infected with evil, that opens the door only they can open. So why didn't they just help me since I've been helping them? I'm also forced to gather Adam with them, the video game amount of times, which all in all wasn't hard as I save scummed every time I had progress, before the little sister scams me and keeps the Adam all for herself. But it's okay as she at least gives me this cool stick. So I buy what I can and prepare for the boss I've never actually done before, and with fear running through my veins, I slowly find out I need to fight John Bioshock. The fight starts with me trying to take back out some of his Adam, the first attempt allowing me the joy of seeing the game's totally great death screen. But unfortunately, after I pull out this really cool energy throwing weapon, I shoot it at Frank, and he kinda can't do anything about it.
Help! Help! Help me!
2 of his 3 phases taken out by my funny gun, and the last one needed me to put at least 10% feeling into it. As I quickly get low on health, but slowly enough, the little sisters give me some heals. And I also remember that I have an RGB grenade launcher that makes Fontaine into dead. As the many daughters I have slowly saved come back to help me, that brings Fontaine to his knees, before I get an ending that literally is the antithesis that it's always about the journey, or something. As I prove that yes, you can beat Bioshock with only moving backwards.
As always, thank you so much for watching and share your support however you see fit. If you have any challenge or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And not as always, are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Are you sure?
Guess who's finally getting it?
Are you